Steph, what do you think about the progress in these 2 wins, the differences that you see just from the beginning of the season, which was only 4 games ago?
I know it's been a roller coaster, week and some change on the road, starting the year off. We obviously know the caliber of teams we played the first 2 games, and, felt like we got better even though the scores didn't really show that. And Chicago was better offensively. We struggled defensively. And then tonight was kind of the best overall game. We still can get to another level. I turned the ball over too much. And, but I think overall everybody's getting a little bit more confidence in what we're trying to do on both ends of the floor and getting comfortable, our rotations and stuff like that. And, Wiggs played amazing that beginning of that fourth quarter, and our second unit in that first 6 minutes pretty much won the game. So, guys stepped up.
You mentioned the increased comfort. Is that signified most maybe by that Wiggins off-ball screen that you got that curling 3, I think it was in the third? You seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, celebrate a action like that. I mean, obviously that's some of our pet plays, but it's a process, and we're all trying to understand where the spacing is and where the flow our shots are coming from. Especially when I give it up, and guys are still being able to be threats off the dribble, but know that there's action on the weak side, and we'll find a lot more of those. But I think our intentions and what we're trying to do are starting to show, every game.
Steph, you mentioned Andrew's performance, and obviously it's a huge lift for everybody when he plays like that. But specific to you, how much of a burden does that take off your shoulders when you're sitting there getting your rest and he's able to carry the group offensively for a stretch?
It obviously helps, but I know he's more than capable of doing it. And it's just a comfort level of, again, where, or play calls he's going to get, where his shots are going to come from, and his confidence, and, ignoring all the numbers and all the, shooting percentages and all that, because we're all capable NBA players that can do what he did tonight. So it was a huge step in the right direction. And finding that tandem kind of approach where, we're getting good shots and sustaining that, over the course of each quarter, no matter who's out on the floor. And I think him and Brad played really well off each other, especially in that fourth quarter to start putting pressure on their defense, and it was great to see.
Steph, Connor Letourneau, San Francisco Chronicle. You've now hit 72 straight free throws. What's the key to your success at the foul line, and how big of a focus is it for you getting to the foul line as much as possible this season?
I mean, just making them. It's just routine. I try not to think about the streak, even though I'm getting reminded about it after every game, so it's kind of hard. But I think getting to the free throw line is always a plus, especially if we're not making shots or if the game's kind of going up and down. We're not creating, good shots. Being able to get easy points from the free throw line definitely settles us, and obviously keeps us, putting points on the board. So we keep trying to do it and keep trying to make them.
How does 2-2 feel, considering how this road trip started?
It feels great. We obviously knew it was going to be a tough task those first 2 games. But, going 2-2 on a road trip in this league is, a good kind of situation. If you don't want to look at, or kind of break down each game, but for us to come out and bounce back like we did, these last 2, it's great for morale, obviously. And makes this 5-hour flight home a lot better.
Steph, how's your leg? Looks like they landed on you pretty hard.
No, that's fine. I wasn't that play. I got kneed in the thigh on a screen, but I'm good.
Steph, Ryan Leong with NBC News Radio. Eric was asked about how excited he would be for the home opener, but he said he wasn't, given the fact that there's COVID, there's no fans. How do you feel about the upcoming home opener?
I mean, it'll just be good to get home and be in our own space, and at Chase Center, no matter, obviously with no fans, it is different. But I haven't played that preseason game kind of understand what the vibe is like, and we got a pretty tough schedule coming up, so we got to take advantage of it. It's kind of weird. I don't feel like there's much home court advantage. I haven't been on the road, but being in our home space, obviously in our routine, and being around our family, hopefully that'll be a positive for us.
What do you think of the James Wiseman coast to coast though?
It did look like a Giannis type of situation. You're right. It was awesome. I think he's really starting to figure out when to be aggressive, and the next level is obviously being able to see the floor, and when he's going to draw a lot of attention, being able to kick it out. But you can see the skill set, see what he's capable of, handling the ball, crazy long strides, and finishing at the rim. So it's a good threat to have.
Steph, you mentioned getting to that next level on offense. How big is it going to be to get Draymond Green back into the mix to reach that level?
I mean, it's going to be huge. We understand what he brings defensively, and even for our offensive patterns, how great of a playmaker and passer he is. So it's going to be huge. We want him to be, whenever he's ready, to be, fully back and, his best self, and, able to play consistently, game after game. So however long it takes, it's necessary, but we understand and can't wait for, him to get back and, show what he's capable of.
Stefan, Kelly played a pretty nice game overall, but what do you think it meant for him to get that first three ball?
It was great. I think, was it his first shot of the night? Or his first three attempts? His second?
First.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I keep telling him, like, if it's a good shot, he has to keep shooting, and don't think about it. Don't hesitate. Just let it fly. And, eventually things will kind of turn in his favor. So he can't get a gun shot at all. Keep shooting for him to get the first one, obviously, but it's not really kind of about that. It was a good moment for him, I'm sure, to see it go in. But it's more so just about taking the shots that he knows he should take. And if he doesn't have it, being able to drive, finish at the rim, if he draws a crowd, being able to kick it out to shooters, because he is so athletic. People have to respect, his slashing ability. But he has got to be able to balance all three of those kind of actions. And, he's getting good looks and getting better at it.
What did he show you that he kept taking those shots and also didn't let it affect his defense?
We talked about that after the Chicago game. That's something that I'm really impressed with, obviously, in terms of him understanding that he can affect the game in a lot of different ways, even if he's not making shots. So not to hang his head, not to get in his head about it, and understand those shots are going to keep coming, and he's going to keep taking them. Eventually, again, they'll fall, but he does so much, good things on the defensive end that give us energy, and can even like kind of spark, his offense, just keeping him, engaged.
Hello, Steph.
In the first half,
Congratulations.
you had,
Last question here. Go ahead, Marcus.
Steph, in the first half, you had 6 shots, but you seem to be, moving the ball a lot, passing it. Like, how's your feel growing for when to be aggressive and when to get other people involved with this new cast around you?
I think a lot of it is kind of a game to game, just see how the defense is playing me, whether they're trapping ball screens or sending multiple guys on drives and stuff like that. I got in trouble in the third quarter, 2 or 3 times trying to get all the way to the basket and not realizing there's 4 guys in there. So I got to do a better job of seeing the floor in those moments. But being aggressive, whether it's a ball screen, at the top of the key, trying to create shots. And then we're going to get to that next layer of when I do draw a crowd, give it up. If we don't have anything, getting it back on the weak side. So all that type of stuff will continue to happen. Tonight, I wasn't worried about 6 shots in the first half because it's kind of just taking what the defense was giving me, and we were getting, plenty on the offensive end. So over the course of, 48 minutes in my runs, I'll find shots.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.